As you all know, Foundation Season 2 made me an official fan of the series on the most unexpected day, as I wasn't exactly obsessed with Season 1. Thankfully, the recently released season ending just solidified that shift in my perception of the series. It's been only a few minutes since I watched the show, and I still get chills over all the things that happened. It was smart, filled with surprises, and highly emotional, and I loved it. So without further ado, let's dive in. First of all, we got a good explanation for how Hari is still alive, which was the point that bugged me the most in the previous episode. Apparently, Gale entered Hari's mind and gave the guard who was making sure that he was dead the need to help Hari. And then they put the guard into Hari's place and made him appear like Hari through illusion. The best illusions need grounding in reality. Gale remembered as she was plotting all these with Hari, explaining how they managed to trick everyone. Last episode, I questioned how Gale was okay with Hari's death, whether she did not care about him a bit or not. Well, my questions got answered as it turned out that she was in it with Hari from the very beginning. Apparently, she was controlling the entire village's minds, to the point that after the incident, all the villagers came together and showed their appreciation to our trio for freeing them. But of course, Tellum was far from gone. She was hidden in the little boy's mind, waiting to attack at the proper moment. She was targeting Gale, but Salver was the one who got killed in the end, meaning that Gale witnessed her daughter's death while trying to avoid it at all costs throughout the season. To be honest, I've never been a fan of Salver, but I was still sad to see her go, as I believe she was a true soldier who was doing the right thing at all times. Also, the realization of the fact that destiny is not a prison and can be altered will be a major plot point for the next seasons, in my opinion, and Salver's sudden death was a great way to show that. Also, I would like to mention that I don't know why, but I have never been a fan of Gale's character either. However, in this episode, at the part when she was mourning after Salver seeking meaning in her death, I could not believe how good she was in delivering her sorrow and pain. Kudos to the actress who plays the part, as I believe she did an amazing job in this episode. I will touch on what is likely to happen next in Gale and Hari's adventures, but before, I would like to mention other major storylines in the episode that all got a great ending. As expected, Damersel is back in Tarantor as she finds Brother Dusk unraveling the secrets of the Empire. There she becomes highly emotional, as through Brother Dusk's discovery, she goes through her history with the Cleans and how she became the way she is. "Clea made me whole again, just not as whole as I hoped," she said, which was a simple yet very touching way of explaining her relationship with Clean. Then she continued, "He rescued me and I loved him, but I also knew that he programmed me to love him." To be honest, I felt very sad for her at that moment, as I think it is relatable for many of us to see someone struggling to go against the way she or he is. Damersel has a soft spot for the original Clean. I want this to come to an end since he rescued her, but she also wants all these to come to an end as she is truly unhappy. And yet, her nature does not allow her to act against what she is programmed to do, even if she feels differently inside. Also, apparently, Damersel was the one who orchestrated the assassination, simply to plot against Queen Sereth. In other words, Sereth is doomed. Well, at least she seems to be doomed for a second. Brother Dusk is also doomed, but he is understanding Damersel and why she does what she does. The good thing is that Brother Dusk was smart enough to mark Damersel with a green paint that will give the sign for Brother Dawn to realize that Damersel has betrayed them. It was yet another smart move, and believe me, this episode was filled with one smart move after another. So Brother Dawn comes to rescue Sereth and escapes with her. It turns out that Sereth is pregnant, and Brother Dawn is more than happy about it. In fact, when he said that he wanted his son to be loved, not to lead, I was teared up. I believe these two unlikely lovers will be great parents, and I'm here for it. But I still struggle to understand how the same person can be both like Brother Day and Brother Dawn. We all have good and bad in us, and depending on which part we are feeding constantly, our personality takes shape. This is one of the points why I like this show this much, as it forces me to question many things about human nature, destiny, and what makes us who we are. As we mentioned Brother Day, let's see what happened to him after bombing Terminus. We learn that 7 planets are entered under the influence of the Foundation, and now Brother Day is after those planets, determined to destroy them all. At that point, it turns out that Spacers made the deal with Selden and played the Empire. In other words, the entire Second Crisis was a plan of Selden, as he wanted the Empire to bring his entire fleet to Terminus, so that they could all be destroyed in trying to space jump. Rios goes against Brother Day's demand, and by doing so reveals this entire plot that I just mentioned. But, in my opinion, it was too late. I mean, he already lost his one true love, so even though I appreciate his strength and courage, I don't understand why he didn't do it 5 minutes earlier before blowing a planet up and killing Glon. Still, I have to admit that his fist-to-fist fight with Brother Day was fun to watch. I still cannot believe how he switched appearances with Brother Day and basically threw him to space. It was so unexpected, but also highly impressive. I mean, we weren't even in the middle of the episode at that point, and yet we saw the Emperor gone. If you are like me in the sense that Brother Day was the protagonist of the show in your opinion as well, I suspect this scene was more than shocking for you. Because personally, I had to pause the episode for a bit and take a deep breath to acknowledge that Brother Day is truly dead. Of course, I have to highlight the importance of Hober Mello in this entire sequence. I mean, he managed to organize all the ambush against the Empire upon the orders of Selden. I even bought his passion towards Brother Constance in this episode and truly felt upset in their breakup scene. I am very much upset to see that his adventure in the show cut this short, though. In the scene where Hober and Rios are waiting for their death, Rios makes a toast by saying, "Here's one who fights and asks why." And by doing so, he gave me yet another reason to love this show. I mean, what a beautiful anti-war remark. What a beautiful way to point at the emptiness of a lot of fights coming from a general. I truly loved it. Brother Constance has been the only one who survived the fleet's destruction. She takes a long trip through the space and somehow reaches the vault. Yes, you heard right, the famous Foundation vault. She met with Hari Seldon there, realizing that Terminus was the ultimate sacrifice, but not the people on it. In fact, even Rios' lover survived the attack, finding himself the Foundation. In other words, the Foundation is alive and well, ready to ruin the already doomed Empire. And I feel like the next season will show off the seemingly underdog Foundation's true power. So, what will happen next in the Foundation saga? Well, the last bit of this episode was quite telling on what to expect. Of course, the very next move that Damersel made was awakening the next generation of Kleans, bringing all three brothers to life at the same time. It is clear that she is determined to preserve the management of the Empire as if nothing has happened. I'm not sure if this would work, especially knowing the fact that there is a Brother Dawn somewhere in the universe. But we will see. Gail and Hari, on the other hand, decided to go 150 years in the future, while also building the second Foundation. To be honest, I struggle to understand their plan and how it will work exactly. So feel free to enlighten me in the comments below. But I'm glad that they are together and will prepare to fight Mule by joining their forces. In the very end, though, we had perhaps the most exciting scene of the entire episode. We had a time jump of 152 years and saw the Mule pledging to find and destroy Gail. So the major fight is ahead, and I cannot wait for it. What have you liked and disliked about Foundation Season 2? What are your expectations from the next season of the show? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Thank you for watching. See you soon.